Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Lucklight here, and we're continuing Final Fantasy III for the NES. And some changes in between episodes. I leveled up to level 50, switch every character, using the Karateka class. So I have a ridiculous amount of hit points, which will only get higher as my vitality gets higher. And my skill level is ridiculous with these characters too, so they're going to hit a lot harder. Now, I feel like this class has been really good to me about, pounding through the enemies, so we're gonna stick with it for now. There will be a point later on in the game, probably right near the end, where I will switch to more mage classes, but at this point, we're doing great. So might as well keep it the way it is. I may do this for the entire game, honestly, because this is almost ridiculous. Like, everything kind of dies in one hit, and I don't have to worry. The only time that I would probably have a lot of trouble is the end game bosses, where they start pounding on me, and I don't have any means of healing, but we'll see what happens. That is my one weakness, not having heals. But we're now entering the long string of dungeons that comprise the ending. We have this particular dungeon here, which is full of enemies. We have a tower, which is full of enemies. We've seen that on the other side when we walked in. There's a extra dungeon below the tower, once again full of enemies and bosses. And we have, I think there's one dungeon after it, near the top of the tower, which, once again, is full of enemies. There's only one place where that has a means of healing, and is the bottom of the extra dungeon. So I'm not sure how this game intends for you to get through it without, getting yourself beat up. So I mean, I've stocked up on high potions and stuff. So hopefully we'll be all right. But I mean, all these ambushes are not really helping me at this point. If I do have to duck out and restock and come back, I will do it on my own terms. I will not do it in an episode because it will take forever. It's probably going to take forever just getting through these dungeons. There's no need to expand the time even longer. But I will let you know if I do that. I also have to be careful on treasure. There may be points where I have to dump some stuff because, again, we have a limited inventory, and we're gonna get a lot of those useless... Alright, well, they're not useless. I guess I could have put them to use if I, wanted to, but a lot of the useless items, like, your turtle shells and your item magics, something I've never really kind of subscribed to. But you're gonna find a bunch of those. What I want to find is elixirs. Everybody loves elixirs. This is essentially the start of a long gauntlet run that, I've said before, I've never completed. I've never gotten this far on the Nintendo version. The remake I have 100% completed. So I know I can do it because the remake did not ease up on the difficulty of these areas, but there's still the matter of getting through this, and the NES version has its differences and seems a little bit harder in some places, so we'll see what happens. We'll see the state of my mental faculties by the end of this. I mean, I'm not doing too bad right now because I'm punching the enemy out, but, you know, I'm getting back attacked and ambushed so often now that... But at least it's still going at a relatively good pace. Thanks to, you know, being level 50 and punching the enemies. I mean, I can really understand why in the remake this class is only for the last crystal. In this version, it came from the third crystal, so you've got it a lot earlier. They moved this one to the fourth crystal in the remake because it is pretty broken. It's broken, it's simple to use, and you hit really, really hard, and you get the best vitality boost out of it. So your hit points go up pretty high. I can see why they moved it, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to utilize it. You know what I mean? And I will say, the hardest thing right now is coming up with something to talk about while I'm walking through this labyrinth. I mean, the walls look nice. The lava is pumping like it's water, which shouldn't happen. And I will say, the tower that we're heading to is actually one of the maps for Final Fantasy Dissidia. Both inside and outside. So there's that. You can point out the differences if you so choose. Alright, I don't specifically remember which way to go here. Alright, these guys aren't hitting me hard since I'm in the back row now. So I'll just beat them up. Apparently that was a critical. But I'm also doing, like, no damage to these guys. This may take a little while, sorry about that. But, you know, we are probably going to finish this relatively quickly. As long as I keep a good pace, and the next game we play is... I have no idea. I haven't gotten that far. That's the one thing I never seem to plan, is what game I will do next. I will say that, you know, 8-bit obscurity can travel to Game Boy games. They are 8-bit. Or I could just, you know, I could retire the series if I wanted to. I don't know. I have no immediate plans. But I do find, I enjoy doing the 8-bit games. Come on, again? Really? I do enjoy doing the 8-bit games because they're simple. And oftentimes mindless, but still difficult. And what I mean by that is, when you play RPGs, as you progress through the ages when it comes to role-playing games, more things. I may have already gone over this, but if I have, I apologize. If not, if this is the first time you're hearing it, then great. As you progress through the years when it comes to RPGs, you start with the NES era, and NES RPGs are very simple. They give you one quest, maybe two, and you you go through it, and you level up, and you get stronger, and there's some side quests, and there's some side objectives to do, but your goal is always kind of clear to you right away, and it doesn't have many extra frills. It doesn't have, like, you know, extra dungeons that only open up for like maybe 5 minutes and then close. Yeah, I can't carry anymore. They alright, what should I drop? I really don't need this great axe, and I don't need the shield. I don't use shields. Ultimate rod, I could use that. Ambushed. I can't get away from these damn guys. But yeah, they don't have, like, all these extra things that you almost need a walkthrough to find. Like, this dungeon only opens up, you know, after you talk to this guy, but if you talk to the guy standing next to him, it closes again. Like, as you progress through RPGs the years, like, PS1 was notorious for that kind of crap. PS2 had some RPGs that did that, and 100%ing the game and seeing everything was, you needed to have a strategy guide like sitting in front of you at all times. I don't need this either. Get rid of this. Now I'm gonna go ahead and heal. So, you know, I do want to dive into PS1 era RPGs, but I'm almost another ambush. Like, come on, I'm level 50. Stop it. But yeah, a lot of those games, to find absolutely everything, to experience everything, you almost need to have a guide in front of you. No matter how many times you played the damn thing. Like, I've played, say, Final Fantasy VII. I've played that game maybe close to 7 times, and there are still things that if I do not have something in front of me saying, this is when you can do this, I'll probably miss something. And I'll probably miss something kind of crucial to making the game a lot easier. Now, that game might be a bad example because it's a really easy game, but you know, things like Final Fantasy VIII, like, I have a thing, I like to complete games. I'm not the completionist, but I'm a completionist. It's just kind of a thing I feel like I have to do. And another ambush. I think after this episode I'm gonna duck out and restock and do it again, and hopefully get better favor. But yeah, you know, the games like Final Fantasy VIII or 9, where to get everything I need to beat it in 3 hours. You know, silly things like that, like, you know, cards only appear at certain discs at certain stages, but, you know, completely go away after, you know, the next stage. Like, it's just, there's a lot to memorize and a lot to remember. Almost to ridiculous levels, and I almost hesitate to play those kind of games on this channel because you will start to see my frustration when it comes to those things. Like, I don't want to stare at guides while I'm playing these for the channel. I don't want to be like, alright, oh, hold on everybody, as I'm reading, just to make sure that I get everything, to show you everything. Because I want to perform well, but I don't want to take too much time reading to the point that I can do well. And PS1 RPGs are kind of like that. Also, the other reason I don't do PS1 era RPGs too well is because alright, I think somebody doesn't have a protector ring on. I can equip this. The other thing about PS1 RPGs is loading times. This was before loading times were kind of dealt with and aren't so bad anymore. So games will have... Oh, for God's sake. I can't win. But yeah, loading times in PS1 RPGs are lengthy. Very lengthy. I wanted to play Legend of Legaia on the channel at one point, because it's a simple RPG, but it's fun, and I think it's fun to watch. But to a certain point, battles are fun to watch because, you know, your characters are running and kicking and punching, and it's awesome, at least to me. But the time spent in battle can last like up to a minute and a half for each fight, and I'd be here fighting, like, you know, 4 battles and the episode's over, you know, like, it would take way too long. I could cut all that crap out, but at that point, it's just you're watching me run from one hallway to the next hallway to the next hallway, and that's it. So you have to, like, take a certain balance on what I would have to cut out, and I'm pushed again. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna back out and try to get better fortune here when it comes to keeping supplies high, and I'm also gonna sell the crap. So on the next episode we'll start here. I'll probably be at full power again, and we'll see where we go from here. This was the Labyrinth episode. We're actually right near the end of it, so we'll be hitting the tower next. So I hope you join me for that, and we'll probably have more to talk about, so hope you join me for that. My name is Lucklight, thank you for watching, and have a good one.